Ready to go? Call the meeting to order. Item 2.0 is adoption of the agenda. We do have an addendum, a memorandum of agreement for group works, and also a resolution and recommendation for employment. Accept the recommendation to adopt the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Joanne makes a motion, second by? Second. Ms. Lyons? Second by Mrs. Lyons. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Passes 7-0. 3.0 is approval of minutes from January 22nd, 2019. Any discussion or comments on those minutes? I'd accept the motion to approve.
I so move.
Second.
Mrs. Lyons and second by Roger. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries 7-0. 4.0, consideration of bills and warrants. That's pages 6 through 32 in your agenda. Any questions or concerns from anyone?
I did have a question. On our food service, how much does food service charge per student to the athletic department for those sandwiches?
I can get you that cost. I don't have it right now, but I can get it to
Okay.
you and let you know. You mean the athletic meal?
Yes. That some take and some don't. Does Zeke, they ever say much about basketball? Do they use them at all?
This help usually fixes, what they eat is what this is help fixes. They won't eat they won't touch your sack lunches, I can tell you.
So
that.
do they not take them though?
I think
And
they
they
take
don't-
them. I think they drag them along.
Oh, do they?
Because I've heard Eric say he's went to get the sack lunches,
Mhm.
but they don't eat them.
So,
I can guarantee you
know.
that.
Why don't they eat them?
They don't like them. They'll eat the
They're
sandwiches.
pretty
Miss
rough.
Alfred.
And they're the same thing. I thought we talked about this maybe one time before, that they don't vary. It's the same meal, apple, cookie. Yeah.
And I can sure check to see what's in it. It was my understanding that at one time they did an Uncrustable. But I can check to see what's, I don't know, let me check.
Any other questions on bills and warrants?
Make a motion to approve the bills and warrants.
Motion by David,
Second.
second by Jeff, approving the bills and warrants as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All same sign, carries 7-0. 5.0, hearing requests and suggestions from citizens. I see no one here, so we'll move forward. Or 6.0, report of the superintendent of schools.
All right, so we've had quite a few things going on. Let's look and see, things we've got coming up between now and our next board meeting. We do have professional development on March the 1st, so half of that day will be spent doing grades, and because it is the end of the quarter. And then we're gonna be doing our KISA work, which is our accreditation systems work. We'll be doing that district-wide in each of the buildings and getting ready for our visit at the end of April. So that'll be happening March the 4th and the 5th. We have elementary parent-teacher conferences from 4 in the afternoon until 7:30. And then March the 8th, there won't be any school in session, and that's a result of a comp day for those late evenings. Middle school, high school had them just this last week, and then elementary in March. March the 11th through the 15th is spring recess, so we are on spring break. And the 25th is our next regular board meeting. Last month, we did have a legislative luncheon in Topeka. And so our area superintendents that are in the Tri-County interlocal, so Caney, Coffeyville, Independence, Neodesha, Cherryvale, Fredonia, and myself, we went and we were able to take some board members and visit with our 2 representatives about things that are happening in the legislature right now. So,
Any questions? 7.0 is report on the special education tri-county board meeting. Joanne, we finally had a long one. Several issues come up on the IEP. We're going to move to IEP backpack, which is put together by Greenbush, moving away from WebKids, which we've been using for approximately 20 years. It's kind of gotten outdated. The Tri-County Educational Center is in need of somebody who would serve as a principal because they have lots of issues in that building. And we've got 2 coordinators who spend time there, but that takes away from their jobs. I also feel like we need a homebound teacher to take care of those students who are in need of being taken care of at home. We offered salaries and contracts to our director and our coordinator, and that took a long time. We also had, our auditor was with us, and so that took a length of time. As you know, auditors like to expound on their topic at great length, and so that was quite a while. And we had a video presentation on a day in the life of the Tri-County Education Center, and that was very interesting. So it just took a little longer. We had about a 2.5 hour meeting. Any questions?
Can you expound a little bit on the IEP backpack? What do you mean by that?
We do IEP. Every student who's special education has an.
I know that,
Okay.
yeah. I'm very
Backpack
familiar
is just a
with
new revised
It's a new
program that's going to,
Like a software program.
the software, yeah.
Yeah, on the
Okay,
computer.
that's what I need
Okay.
to know.
Yeah.
8.0 is report from principals.
Those will be in your packet on Friday.
Okay, no old business, so we'll move into new business. Action, accept donations to schools.
Okay, so donations are on page 35. So the district office received a donation from Commercial Bank for the Municipal Fishing Club for $250. Garfield Elementary, donations were received from Wesley United Methodist Church for the STEM Lab for $200. Box Tops for Education, an unrestricted donation of $214, and Interstate Studios, unrestricted for $15. Lincoln Elementary had a donation from Box Tops, which is an unrestricted donation of $160. Guthridge had Beta Sigma Phi, donated money towards lunch balances of $137, and Box Tops, which is an unrestricted donation for $150. At the high school, it looks like we had 3 honor flight donations. Mike and Linda Castle, $2,000. Mike and Diana Kessler, $20. Jeanette Lewis, $60. Junior class had a donation, made a donation to the PHS Booster Club for $152.90. There was 2 anonymous donors for the PHS Vocal Music Trip. One of those donations was $80, and the other one was $465. Parsons Rotary Club made a donation to the Interact Club for $65. An anonymous donor made a donation to the Interact Club for $20. Guthridge donated to the Graphic Design Department $300 here at the high school. Cooper Snack Sales for Positive Reinforcement Program, $134.27 was donated. Olivia Lyons for the Positive Reinforcement Program, $25 donation. Kim Morrow in memory of Charlie Bevins, honor flight donation, $1,820. Shannon Jared made a donation to the PHS Vocal Music Trip of $40. An anonymous donor for the honor flight, $338. Parsons Dental Care donated to the honor flight, $200. Bleacher Gear made an honor flight donation of $25. An anonymous donor made a PHS band equipment donation, $600. And Lance Markley made a donation to the robotics program for $40. So that's it. So for a total of $7,511.
On the PHS Vocal Music Trip, is that the one going,
To Silver Dollar City.
that's that one, okay. All right.
Lori, did Guthridge have a fundraiser or something to be able to make a $300?
I think what they did was they purchased posters and different things. I'll have to check with Kurt to
Oh, I
see.
just wondered if they,
So,
yeah.
um,
Okay. I didn't know if they, had a project or something.
That's a good
Did not the
question.
Booster Club give to the junior class instead of the junior class giving to the
Oh.
Booster Club? I think it was the Booster Club given to the
It's a
junior class, right.
It was. I said it the wrong, it's written the right way. I just said it the wrong way. I read it backwards.
Any questions on donations? If not, accept it. Motion to approve.
I so do.
Motion by
Second.
Roger, second by Joanne to approve, accept the donations to schools. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So same sign, carries 7-0. 9.1, action to appoint a USD 503 representative to the Parsons Education Commission Board. Just have one.
I do.
We have one letter of interest from Dr. Ben Legler.
He said he's very excited to be considered for position on the PRC board. As a physician, increasing patients' time being active is paramount to his success in leading them to a healthy lifestyle. It starts with children and extends all the way through adulthood. So he would like to be able to reach and teach individuals with chronic illnesses, and he's excited about the opportunity.
Make a motion to approve Ben as being our 503 representative.
Motion by David,
Second.
second by Jeff, to appoint Dr. Legler to the Rec Commission. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, carries 7-0. 9.2, discussion of possible action on inclement weather makeup days.
Okay, let's just have springtime. Everybody ready for it? I am.
Tired of this.
And of course, it's snowing.
Yeah.
It's snowing, as long as the ice stays away. Okay, so here's what we have on our calendar. We have days listed as makeup days, February 18th, April the 22nd, and May the 16th. So we didn't have a makeup day on February the 18th because it was so close to having just had the first 2 snow days, or ice days, before today. The requirement is 1,116 hours that we have to be in school. If we do all of our days, and then it changed because I didn't realize we could count professional development days. We have let's see, oh no, I should have done this ahead of time. We have, with the 3 days that we've missed so far, if we don't make any of those up, we still have 1,156 hours, and the requirement is 1,116.
But we have on our calendar saying we will make them up. That's the point that's the point I don't understand. This is what I brought up last year. If we don't intend to make them up, or we have so many free, quote free, and what we're not talking about are the hourly employees. They're gonna miss 3 days' pay at a much lower wage than the teachers. They're just gonna miss being paid.
Well, and we did visit about that, and if they had, if they had time off, or if they had sick leave, they were allowed to use that time to get paid. A personal day. They were allowed to use that time.
If they were told,
They were told. I sent the email out to all the administrators.
but they didn't get it. Those
Okay.
people didn't get it.
Well, we can adjust that. Have those timesheets been turned in yet? Okay, because I sent the email out, so we can for sure check on that.
So they'll get to make up all 3 days?
If they have those personal
If they
days.
have 3 personal.
If they haven't used them for
If
something
they
else
have,
already.
right,
so that's-
sure. And looking at the calendar, something that I would be interested in doing, possibly if this would be something the board would entertain, is we're in the process of looking at new social emotional curriculum for next year. And there's a date in March where there's a group of teachers that are gonna go to that. So hopefully we will have something selected, and we could spend maybe April the 22nd as a group working on that, spend that day in professional development, that's a possibility, or working on the Build Your Own Curriculum, which is the document that we've used for a number of years. We're now transitioning all of that into Google because there is no cost. So that could be something they could work on as well. There's plenty of curriculum work, if that's something the board's.
So what about Tri-County Paras in regard to snow days? And being paid like,
Like ours are. I would have to check with Emily and see.
because I'm with Roger, some of our classified staff, if it's a snow day and it's not their fault,
Right.
maybe that should be negotiated. I don't know. It's just, it brings up a pretty good point. Lower paid employees that don't have a chance to get the money like the certified do.
Lou, do you mean negotiated during the process we do in negotiations with certified, or
Well-
what do you mean negotiated?
Okay, let me see if I understand what I heard Lori say. Our classified get to use personal days, right?
For snow days, yes, that's what we.
Okay, is that a policy? Is that negotiated? Or is that just a thing that we do?
in the
That's a
policy.
classified
Yeah,
policy.
It's in the handbook.
and
It's a policy.
It's a policy, but I think the board would have to approve allowing them to use
Yeah.
3 days.
That's what I'm saying.
Or it would be an exception to policy.
Okay.
Usually they can only, I think it's 1 or 2. Brandon, do you know how many they can use for personal days? But if the board so decided tonight that you wanted an exception, that all 3 days they could take off their sick leave, then that would be up to the board.
It's not negotiated because they're not our certified people, and they don't fall under our negotiated
Well, I
agreement.
meant policy.
But it is the classified policy.
Okay, which is discussed by the board. So is that your recommendation?
I'm not.
Is that your recommendation?
Well, and it was my understanding that what we sent out was that the days that we had missed, they could use the leave that they had. I didn't realize that there was a cap on that leave. That wasn't, so I was,
We need to look at the policy as it's written.
right. And what I'd understood from Kathy was that we had that flexibility and that it had been done in years past.
It has
That had been
been
past
done.
practice. I didn't realize it took board action.
But when we looked at it, you only had 2 days out, now we got.
Now we have 3, and so-
Because we looked at it at 2.
So basically, you got 2 issues. You got issue number 1, are we gonna make these days up? There's 3 issues, I guess. Number 2 is, when are we gonna make them up if we do? And then number 3, if we don't make them up, what are we gonna do with the classified people? Because the certified people get paid.
And there are 2 days left available for makeup days on the calendar.
But we still have more days to go
Correct.
of possible snow.
It would appear so.
And the state does forgive, if we've used our makeup days, then the state does forgive equal number as far as getting to 11/16.
But like Roger said, why put up makeup days if you're in effect not going to make them up? They're makeup days.
Why do we even make a calendar with makeup days if we aren't gonna make them up?
I guess probably what the calendar needs to say is possible makeup days, because then the board would decide whether we make those days up or not. That's,
But you either,
Well, then we come back with we have plenty of hours. So if we have plenty of hours, so it should be reworded that if we have plenty of hours, there's no need for makeup days. Anything beyond those hours, then you would have to have a makeup day by law. Right?
If we go with the
Correct.
1,116.
Then you're okay. If you go under that, then you're not.
Right.
You gotta
So
make up. Yep.
right.
it's a moot point.
And we could always put on the calendar next year that days could be added at the end if necessary for snow day. I mean,
I remember, boy, they did that, and that was a disaster. Just because we came back after Memorial Day one
Oh.
time and
Yep.
Yeah.
another day, and people didn't show up. Talk about waste.
yeah, and we're fortunate now in that we get out early enough in May, there's an entire week before Memorial Day, so it
Yeah,
wouldn't be.
Making it up on the 16th really doesn't do us any good from a student perspective, because there's not gonna be doing anything on the 16th anyway.
Yeah, and
16th
if
of
we
May.
do have professional
No,
development,
it'll
then the
be,
people
it's
wouldn't get
wasted.
Yeah, so that
paid
doesn't really.
anyway, right? The-
That's
the
irrational.
aides.
Right,
So they
that
still would be
yeah,
out.
So they would still be
Yeah.
out.
April
So
22nd.
Although we can figure something for those folks to do that day.
there's plenty of work.
Yeah,
There's things they could do to come in on a professional development day that we would schedule for the certified staff and have the classified come in and the paras in particular, because the custodians can certainly work.
Yeah, they would work anyway.
They work, yeah, they
They
don't
work.
count
It'd
it.
be the paras that we would be concerned about, we can find things for them to do.
Well, but finding things for them to do and just giving them something to do, that, I can't see that working really. What do you, if they're used to working with kids, what are you gonna have them do? I mean, in the classroom.
At the elementary, they can.
Well, yeah,
get all
there's
kinds of
always
materials
stuff.
ready.
There's stuff to do.
The materials.
Well,
ready.
there's stuff to do, but
Laminating
will it be done? That's what I'm saying. I've seen in-service days.
No, but but I mean, I know teachers could get stuff ready if they knew that, if they were having professional development and the paras and aides didn't have kids, I could see them getting,
I think they would leave things for them to do. I feel like we've got a conscientious group.
I mean, if,
They would use their time wisely.
yeah. So what are you saying, Roger? You think that we need to be in school?
Yes.
To make it up?
If not, then why do we have them? We went through the same thing last year.
Well, I'm glad to know it's not a new problem.
You know, when I first come on the board, we talked
Yeah.
about, I don't know whether we end up forgiving it or what, but if we have them, use them. But I agree, now that day at the end is wasted. You might even want to put that in
So what
there.
we could do then is if we go beyond, we could put those makeup days in there, and those would be used if we go beyond the hours that the state requires us to be in.
We could do that.
So then they would be days that you wouldn't really make up unless we
Unless-
didn't meet the
Right.
hours.
Unless the weather was we missed a lot of days. So-
Yeah.
Because what we're doing is say, we have makeup days, but you don't have to make them up.
Because we're over the hours by a couple days anyway. Several days. We're over by 40, we're over by 5 days.
40 hours, yeah.
That's 5 days. So, yeah.
And that's even after we've missed 3.
6.5
Bec-
days.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so that's over a week of school, so we're over. I don't want to say that out loud, the teacher will be wanting more money. Making
You
them work
just
too
did.
much.
What are your wishes, folks?
So tell me again, what are the options?
What are the dates again? February 18th is out, and what?
So April the 22nd and May the 16th are the 2 dates that are still.
22nd's after, day after Easter, right?
That is the Monday after
Okay.
Easter. So we would have Good Friday off, and then the Monday after Easter, we would return. So,
Our options are to have one or both those days as makeup days.
either with or without students.
Or forgive them all.
Just to keep peace in the family, I would suggest that they make up at least one of those days. And then when we do the calendar next year, perhaps we look at the hours and put those in as emergency days if we exceed the hours that the state requires to go to school, so we don't have to go through this every year.
Calendar committee hasn't confirmed,
We meet Wednesday.
okay.
Well, tomorrow. Oh, that's tomorrow.
Yes, it feels like today should be Monday.
I know there are some, this might not apply to us, but there are some Oklahoma schools that in May, if you don't use your snow days, then they get out that many Fridays or Mondays. If you don't use
So
them,
that's,
then you're out. But Fridays might mess up the high school. I don't know how to do for sports and stuff, but this, doing this each year is just,
I agree with Lou. I think we have to use the 22nd as a makeup day.
everybody, teaching day.
It's
Yeah.
a school day, kids involved. And then if between now and April or March, even if we lose more days,
We revisit it.
then we have to revisit this.
right.
But then it's going to get even harder.
Well, then the only day left is May the
Well,
16th.
May 16th will be a worthless day.
Well, what we could do then is instead of students' last day being the 15th, then students' last day would be the 16th, right? And then
Why don't-
teachers would come back
How
on the
how
17th.
about that in-service that day? Is that an in-service? Why don't we make that the in-service day then, that you want to do this stuff on?
And we have the 16th now, currently. The last day of school for students is May the 15th, and then May the 16th right now is currently professional developments and / grades. So if we used, they have to have half the day for grades. And so what we would have to do is then have them come back, teachers come back on the 17th,
Which would be a Friday.
which would be a Friday. And when I think of, curriculum and professional development, the very, very end.
Well, probably not, then it'd be better
Yeah.
off just waiting until next year.
Yeah, those are always difficult
They are difficult.
if you do professional development on the last day.
How much time do they actually spend on grades? I know high school would, but how much time anymore with computers do you actually spend? Truthfully, but that's negotiated, right, Jeff?
Right.
You
How
can
much-
change that.
Well, you can negotiate how much time you give them for grades, but I don't know exactly how much they.
No, we don't negotiate the time.
Here, we just give them a half a day.
A block.
Yeah.
So that's what they do
yeah.
now.
So we don't know.
On those four times a year they have.
Some are fast.
And
some
if some get done early, and those
Yeah.
that get done early, you have other things to do, you know, like
Yeah.
preparing for the next 9 weeks, and
And some were waiting to stuff the green
that's what I did.
So did I. And I had time to talk to my colleagues about different things. Well, I would entertain what Mike said,
April the 22nd.
and then the calendar committee will meet again, and maybe we can discuss the hours so that we don't have to go through this anymore.
Well, that way classified would have another day.
Right.
And then if they did have a personal day, that it would just be 2 days, right?
Right.
Right.
I mean, they get paid for 2 days and lose just one.
I need to clarify that policy because
Well, they worked on the 22nd.
Right, with
They
kids.
paid for that day.
Yes.
And then I think she approved 2 days.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Okay, so it'd be caught up.
So, yeah, and then we had that other day. So-
Whatever, 16.
So you want to put that in plain English, so I second.
Plain English.
Yeah.
We will have April 22nd, we'll have school as a makeup day for lost weather conditions. If we do not miss any more days, then those other 2 days are forgiven. If we lose weather, because of weather somewhere else, we'll revisit this at appropriate time.
So you made the motion?
I made the motion.
Second.
Second by Jeff. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 7-0. 9.25. That's on the addendum, action on agreement with the group work camps for 2020.
Okay, so that was in your review last week, a little information about it's the same work camp that comes every other summer. They were to be here last summer, is my understanding, but they weren't able to get enough volunteers and enough folks in their group to get the work done. So that's why they would like approval now to come in 2020 so they can start to recruit folks to come to that work camp.
And all the liability insurance is covered by that group, correct?
That's my understanding. It's the same as it's been in years past.
Okay.
So they've given us some dates in June and July, and we don't need to set specific dates right now. We just need approval from the board so they can begin to move forward and put it on the calendar.
Then they're underneath our maintenance crew, and maintenance
Right.
just has them
Mhm.
get a lot of good work done.
Oh, no. No, this is the group that goes
Oh,
out
goes
into
out in
the
the community.
community.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, our maintenance group will get everything set up in the building and we'll check to make sure, so they'll all, because they like all sleep in the gym.
Gym, okay.
And they'll contract with OPA for food. So our folks will still,
So it's like painting houses and
It
things
is.
around the,
Mhm.
yeah.
it's,
Okay.
right. Yeah, it says the participants will repair the homes of low-income residents, including elderly and disabled, and provide thousands of dollars in construction materials and up to 12,000 hours of volunteer labor during the camp.
So is this a nonprofit group or is it a church group? I can't remember.
It's a nonprofit 501c group.
They're affiliated with the church, though. And they did come last year.
I thought they were
They
here
did
last
Yeah, there was
come
a Pink
last year.
Parsons
They came
group
last year.
Well, I think
That
that
was a
might be
paint
different than
group.
the work camps,
That was a different, okay.
than the group work camps.
West Side.
Yeah.
This
they-
is right,
Yeah.
but it's with a
Right.
group called Group Cares. So
You think-
it's who we've had before. So it isn't Paint Parsons.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Lou to approve.
Second.
Second, was that Joanne? Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 7-0. 9.3, executive session, discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel, confidential student information, and employer-employee negotiations. Hour. Hour, probably.
Could we stay in here?
We are going to stay
We
here.
are going to stay here. We're going to
No,
turn
okay.
off the. So we need a motion.
need that long because we. Okay, we're back in session. We're at action item 9.4, which is action on personnel. The first one will be a resignation for retirement. Debbie Alford, middle school keyboarding teacher, effective at the end of the year. Motion to accept her resignation.
I so do.
Second?
Moved by Roger, second by Joanne, to accept her resignation. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries 7-0. Resignation for employment for Randy Redmond, high school ISS and supervisor at the end of the school year. Motion approved.
So moved.
Motion by Jeff, second by Joanne. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Same sign, opposed, same sign. Carries 7-0. Let's do a resignation of employee Jamie Wells, a high school head volleyball coach, effective at the end of the 18-19 season.
Move to approve.
Second.
Is that Jeff and David?
Jeff and
Jeff and Roger, okay. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Opposed, carries 7-0. Recommendation for employment, Emily Salyers, I'll get it right here in a minute. Administrative assistant, district office, effective on March 3rd.
And then there's two others on the back. Part-time custodians.
Oh, this one, she's up here.
Okay.
Move to approve Emily Salyers for administrative assistant at the district office.
Motion by Jeff, second by Roger. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, carries 7-0. Recommendation for employment for Laren Lee, middle school part-time custodian, effective today. And Rand Westoff, high school part-time custodian, again, effective today.
Move to approve.
Motion by Jeff,
Second.
second by Roger. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, carries 7-0. Recommendation to extend contracts for our district administrators. We'll go through these one at a time. First will be Mr. Rob Barkus, high school assistant principal and activities director.
Move to approve.
First by Jeff,
I second.
second by Olivia. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries 7-0. John Cox, middle school principal.
Move to approve.
Motion by Jeff, second by Joanne. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
No.
Motion carries 6-1.
6-2.
I'm sorry?
6-2.
5-2. She
5-2.
voted.
Okay, 5-2. I'm sorry, I didn't hear yours. 5-2. Okay. Shelley Gardner, a Lincoln principal.
Move to approve.
Second.
You, Ms. Lyons. Ms. Lyons and Mr. Jeff, is that you?
Yes.
Motion by Olivia, second by Jeff. Any discussion? All opposed, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries 7-0. Kurt Freese, Guthrie principal.
Move to approve.
Motion by Jeff, second by Roger. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 7-0. Tyler Gordon, middle school assistant principal and activities director.
I move to approve.
Mrs. Lyons,
Second.
second by Mrs. Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries 7-0. Misty Russell, Garfield principal.
Move to approve.
Mrs. Lyons,
Second.
second by Jeff.
Or Roger, either one.
Any discussion?
Is that Roger?
No, any discussion? No, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carries 7-0. Eric Swanson, high school principal.
Move to approve.
Mrs. Lyons,
Second.
is that you, Lou? Oh, Roger, second by Roger. I'm sorry. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, carries 7-0. Board of Education request for everything?
I'd just like to say what a great play our town, they put on Saturday and Sunday. I went Sunday. And I just want to tell Mr. Burke what a great job he did. And it was a wonderful play. Participants were exceptional.
Good. Any other comments?
The Read Aloud Day at Garfield was
Exceptional.
outstanding.
You're right.
Very good for kids and well planned and lots of good activities for kids.
Good. Good to see that our schools are doing great things all the time.
Great to have you back.
Okay? If nothing else, we'll be adjourned at 7:36. Thank you all for your time tonight.